Hello, James Rossi. My name is Pat Stino, and I'm one of the construction managers with Epic Homes. And today is Thursday, July 16th, and we are creating a virtual pre-drywall walkthrough today. So that means we're going to walk around the house. We're going to talk about everything, what's going on. We're going to walk through the house, look at electrical, look at low volt, look at your options. I'm in the process of rough inspections currently through your house. I'm hoping to finish those tomorrow afternoon, Friday afternoon, and then next week we'll be insulating and install a stocking drywall. So also we have energy inspections next week after installation. We've got a lot of testing to do, but we're on our way. So we're going to start today with, I'm going to show you this little pre-drywall checklist that I have. We're going to talk about some things outside, and then we're going to walk through the house. So outside we're going to talk about grading and drainage and gutters and downspouts and window grids. Then we'll move inside and we're going to talk about electrical, low volt, plumbing, mechanical, projected schedule. And I'm hoping that you'll be able to look at this over the weekend. And if you see anything that jumps out at you, or please come out and visit. The house will be open this weekend. And let us know, just let Kyle know if there's anything that I need to address, and I will, just as we have so far. So you have selected a 4095 Colorado rustic elevation. So I'm standing in front of the garages. I'm going to walk around, and my partner is going to follow us. We're going to look at the front elevation, the Colorado rustic elevation. The grid patterns on the windows are as such. So that's called a 2H1V, 2 horizontal bars, 1 vertical bar. And that's the grid pattern for the Colorado rustic. Now as we walk around the house, everything that you see is green is going to be masonry. It's going to be stone, except up on top in front, that little bump out window area, and the lower in the garage, the bump out, that gets shingle siding, just like up here above the 2-stall garage. It was back ordered. It showed up today, so we'll be getting that installed Monday. So those areas get siding, but the rest of the green board that is uncovered is all stone masonry. Something I'd like to show you is the plot plan. And that shows, this is the plot plan, which I believe you have a copy of. If not, ask Kyle and he'll send another copy over to you. But this shows the grading and the drainage on the lot. Shows us our lot corners. Also shows us the concrete footprint of your house. And the drainage requirements that we have in order to achieve proper drainage and grading, so that we can maintain and offer our 10-year structural warranty. And these drainage plans or percentages of grade need to be maintained, and then there's no jeopardy of your 10-year warranty. There's a lot of information on this plot plan. There's a little key on the lower right to tell you what things are. I'm just going to point out a couple of items. As I mentioned, this is the footprint of your house, and these are dimensions, like 25.5 feet, 7.5 feet. These little stop sign figures tell us how many steps are up or down into your house. So at the front porch, we're going to go up 3 steps and then 1 step onto the main floor. So as you can see at your front porch, we're going up 3 and then 1 into the house. In the tandem garage, there are 4 steps going up, and from the main garage, 3 steps going up to the main floor. So also, all of these X's are spot elevations that we're to achieve, percentages of slope. So coming away from your house, I need to achieve 10%, and then it flattens out to 5. So all of those, all that information is here on this plot plan, which we will be grading everything to. So if you need a copy of this, just let Kyle know. But after we're getting ready the roof tile was delivered, and we're getting ready to stock the roof with the roof tile, and that'll be going on next week as well. But after I get the roof stocked, then we'll be pouring the concrete driveway, just so you know what the sequence is. Right now, we still have not poured the driveway because I need to run forklifts in to lift all the roof tile, the concrete tile up. We'll be loading that tile next week, like I mentioned, and then we'll be pouring the driveway right behind. So as we walk around the house, you see we got coach lights alongside the garage. I also am going to be carrying your electrical mini with me and your low volt mini. So so I may have to shuffle paper a little bit, so bear with me as I do that. I appreciate your patience, James. Okay, so as we turn the corner to be the northeast side, you can see we've got gas meter. This is our gas piping, which is on test. Come down. This is where our air conditioning condensing units will sit, and they will mount on the wall and sit here. Both condensing units will be mounted here. We've got fence for water heater and furnace. This is power service outlet, and this is the main power for the two condensing units. Move down to the electric panel. This is the electric service location, meter housing. This is the main breaker panel, which comes in from the rear electric pedestal, and this is the termination of all low volt cabling for Comcast, Xfinity, whichever service provider you select. So as we move around back, we've got a hose bib and a sump pump discharge. That's in the bedroom, which we'll look at in a bit. Coming around, got the stairs from the lower patio up to the outdoor room. On the patio, we've got a coach light at the door and a waterproof outlet below.
Right, the low volt.
Low volt. Let me pull out my low volt diagram. Thank you. Pardon me. On the rear patio, you've requested 2 wall speaker pre-wires. One located here up next to the patio door, and the other on the other end of the patio. So these wires sticking out of the wall, which will be stuck out of the masonry, is the speaker pre-wires. You asked for those to be at 9 foot, and that's where they're placed. Move around to the southwest side. We've got no electrical, no penetration through this side of the house. Again, up front. Basement window well. Got sump pump discharge, hose bib, and this is the sprinkler tee for the irrigation system. The valve body, valve boxes will be set right here at this location. Vacuum breaker will be here. And the valve boxes that are set are large enough to accommodate rear yard landscaping, so you don't need to add a whole new system for rear yard landscaping. As we move around to the front corner, this is where you've requested a holiday light circuit up in this eave, and that's switched at the front entry. And that's the downspout locations. You'll see we've got what's called rough gutters installed. This is a downspout location on this corner. That'll take care of this upper roof. This corner of the garage, drain toward the sidewalk. We've got an upper roof coming down, and you can see where I've written drain on the wall next to the garage door opener. When we pour the driveway, we will have an underground sleeve, which will go across the driveway to the other side. But that's where that downspout will come down and go right into that drain that we put in the driveway. That's it for the outside. We're going to walk into the single stall garage. Electric options in the single stall garage. You've asked for a car charger. This is the 220. We got standard service outlet on the other walls. This one on the back wall of the single car garage, this is the one that will be used for the irrigation clock for the sprinkler system. No other options in here. This is our standard garage setup. Up on the ceiling, you'll see I've got a ceiling light. I've got power for garage door opener and low volt wiring for the garage door opener sensors. Inside the 2-car garage, we have no electrical options in the 2-car, but we do have service outlets around the garage, one on every wall. And also, you may wonder what this piece of rebar sticking out of the foundation here is. This is called a UFER ground, or a secondary means of ground. We have 2 means of electrical grounding in the house. One is to the water service bond, to the copper underground coming from the street, and the other is to a piece of rebar which goes down through the foundation and into the ground. And that's called the UFER, ground or a concrete encased electrode, CEE. In the ceiling of the garage, we have 2 garage lights out front of the drop. Power for the garage door opener, low volt again. Also behind the drop ceiling, we've got an additional light as well. 2 switches in the garage. One is for the interior garage lights. The other is a 3-way switch to the front entry for the exterior coach lights on the garages. So 2 switches inside the garage. Here we are as we step into the owner's entry. So I'm standing in the owner's entry, which is just inside of the 2-stall garage as we come in. As you come in, there is a light switch for the overhead cans, and that's on a 3-way. Now we wire all rooms very logically. When you enter a room, there's a switch to turn a light on, and when you exit the room or the area, there's a switch to turn the light off behind yourself. So they're all on 3-way switches. So this is a 3-way switch. So if you would enter through the owner's entry, you come in, you turn the lights on. I call them traveling lights, meaning where I'm walking. The overhead lights would come on, and then I'll show you where we turn them off. This is the owner's entry. This is a little furnish area. Power outlets down low. We've got a coat closet here. Power outlets around this area. Come in, this is the powder room on the left. 2 switches in the powder room. One is for the fan and one is for the light above the mirror. So we've got a pedestal sink standard. I can't recall if you've made an option to that. Stool, light, and a fan in here. Power outlet on the wall next to the sink. Come through the owner's entry, and we're looking at the front entry now. We're going to go back to the door area, then we'll enter the house from here. So we've got front entry. Outside we also have a doorbell next to the door. But as you come in the front entry, you'll see all kinds of switches here. There's 5 switches here. And one is for the 3-way on the coach lights, which is outside. The other is for the recessed can on the front porch. That's these 2 switches here. Then I've got hall cans, 3-way and a 4-way on the hall cans. Also, we have a switch for the center chandelier in the foyer at this location. So I've got the coach lights, and I've got the foyer. We also have a holiday circuit here, which we mentioned outside. There's another switch in this location, but everything is in sequence so that it's very user-friendly. So as we move down the owner entry, we have got the chandelier on ahead of us. Then we can turn off behind us. So here's the 3-way for the foyer, and then 3-way for our traveling lights ahead of us. As we enter the kitchen area, we've got the pantry, which you've asked us to customize this pantry area with a single door, a 2480 door centered in this space. And we scooched that up a little bit, so we've got more cabinet space. So this is all per your request. So we got switches here. I've got 3 boxes, and I've got a 3-way for the kitchen lights. I've got a 3-way for the dining fixture or the nook, which that is located right here for the dining area. And then 3-way for the pendant lights over the sink. This is the island. Pardon me, I still have my permit table set up. I'm doing rough inspections, as I mentioned, today and tomorrow. But this is our kitchen sink area, and these are our pendant lights, 3 pendant lights, 1 centered over the sink and 2 equally spaced outside of the sink. So we've got cans, and in the kitchen you haven't requested any additional recessed cans, but we have cans at the sink area. You have requested the sink to be on the outside wall, centered under the window. Got power below for garbage disposal and dishwasher. Your garbage disposal switch will be inside of the cabinet. So that's where that is located, inside the cabinet next to the dishwasher. We got all outlets per your request set at 38.5 inches high, and those are set horizontally. You must be doing a tile backsplash, which is generally the case. We got our range, 36-inch cooktop centered, power for that as well. Again, we have outlets, horizontal outlets throughout the kitchen. This is the hood for the gas cooktop. And hood power, there's a little brown wire here. This is the low volt for makeup air. The range that you've selected, you've asked for additional CFM capability, and there's an electronic damper downstairs. When the heat gets to a certain BTU, that electronic damper will kick on and it'll draw room air from the great room area, so you're not using, you're just not sucking air completely out of the living space. We're adding additional outside air when that CFM requirement arises. So on this wall, we've got high voltage, which is the oven cabinet. We've got sub-zero fridge and freezer. 48-inch refrigerator here, excuse me, water box. Got a coffee maker, water for the coffee maker, and an oven. Also, from a low volt standpoint in the kitchen, next to the pantry door here, let me find out exactly what that is. It says, volume control for speakers. So in the kitchen, we have got two speaker pre-wires. One is here, and one is across the island. And then you've also requested on the side of the island a T1, which is a phone and data port. So we've got speaker here on this end of the island, speaker over here on this end of the island. The volume control is over next to the pantry. So as we move to the outdoor room, I've got a double stack switch here. And so we've got outside cans. We've got a switched waterproof outlet in the ceiling outside. So we've got the recessed cans, switched waterproof outlet in this corner of the cover. And we also, from a low volt standpoint outside here, have two speaker pre-wires. One is located here and the other on the other end. And these wires go to the volume control next to the door as well. The other switch bank here is a three-way on the kitchen cans and the pendants. You can turn them on at either end of the kitchen, either side of the kitchen. As we enter the great room area, the wall above the makeup air duct, this is the makeup air vent from the hood. So when that calls for additional air circulation, the electronic damper will turn on and it draws air from this area. So at this location here, we've got two switches here. One is the three-way for the whole cans, that's to turn off behind yourself, and then three other cans coming in. On this side, we've got three switches here. We've got a ceiling fan pre-wire centered in the grand room. We've got recessed cans, 8 recessed cans switched here, and they're on a dimmer. And then we have 2 mini cans on a dimmer on either side of the fireplace. We have power at 75, power at 75. We've also requested this conduit from low volt, and that has a pull string in it coming down to this side where you've got the UP location, and that is called the uniport. The uniport, you've got uni and T, which are tube conduit going up. And that uni is from the basement. That comes from the basement. This is, you've got, pardon me, while I get my bearings here. You've got 2 speaker pre-wires. One is the coiled up white there. The other is over here. 2 speaker pre-wires at same elevation. Also, we have volume control located above the light switches. So in the grand room, we've got cans to turn on or off behind yourself. We've got recessed cans. We've got ceiling fan, and we've got mini cans on either side of the fireplace. I failed to mention that next to the fireplace on the right-hand side in the niche is where the switch for the fireplace is. It's located right here. This is to turn the fireplace on and off. The other side of the fireplace is the gas valve, the emergency gas valve for the fireplace. That's located here. There'll be a key for that. Service outlets around the room, standard service outlets. No other low volt pre-wire low in the grand room. That pretty much covers the grand room, kitchen, the owner entry, the foyer. We're going to walk back to the foyer into the study area. So we can turn lights on ahead of ourselves again as we're traveling. Then we can turn lights off behind ourselves as we're traveling. Ahead with the foyer. Come here, we can turn cans on ahead of ourselves outside of the study. We've got double doors. You've requested 2 double doors here into the study. In the study, also you requested a 4 outlet in this center location and a low volt in this location. And that low volt in the study is a uni also, and that's in the center of the floor. Use FP3 round box, floor box. We also put a round electrical box, so they look the same. Also in the study on the exterior wall, we've got a uniport located there. The port is dual phone, data and cable, and satellite port. No other additional electric outlets, but you've got several around the room. You did request 4 recessed cans. As you open these double doors, 4 recessed cans are switched here. Also in every room we have a half-hot outlet. So there's another switch for an outlet across the room, which half of that is on the switch. The other is constant hot, but half is switched. So that takes care of the study. This is the secondary owner's entry. We've got a switch inside the door that turns on the traveling lights ahead and behind yourself. So that's on the 3-way switch from the foyer as well. As you get into the garage, light switch inside that garage for the ceiling light. So now we'll move to the guest bath. So this is the 4-way switch for the hall lights. Enter this area. It's on a 3-way switch to turn lights on ahead of yourself. Get into the guest bath. There are 2 switches inside. One is for the light over the sink and the light over the shower. Now we got late information, and I'm waiting until after all rough inspections have completed. But we'll be changing this fiberglass shower pan to a mud set pan, and that will probably happen Monday. No later than Tuesday. We'll be removing this, and we'll be preparing it for the tile people. It gets a different type of drain system. Plus we'll put some blocking in the wall space for the shower pan to attach to. That's probably going to happen Monday. But bear in mind that we are aware that gets a mud set shower base. So we've got shower head. We set those all up high at 84 inches. Make sure that they're high enough for everyone. Stool and lab. Guest bedroom. In the guest bedroom, you requested a ceiling fan pre-wire and 4 recessed cans, which are spaced evenly. We've got power outlets around the room and a half-hot outlet. So you've also requested from a low volt standpoint in the guest bedroom. You've got a uniport here left of the window. Then we have a CP, which is a phone and data phone, data, and cable on the adjoining bath wall. So the switches into this room, there's 4 gangs here. We've got, first one is to turn the lights off behind yourself. Then you can enter the room and you can turn on the recessed cans. You can turn on the ceiling fan and the half-hot across the room. Got a walk-in closet, light switch inside with a recessed can overhead. That pretty much covers the main floor. I think we've got everything. As you can see, as we move back into the foyer, you requested step lights going up. One set is a set of 4. You can see 1 at each landing, and then 2 spaced evenly in the space run. In the stair run. And we're going to move upstairs. So the foyer light on here, as you go upstairs, three-way switch at the top of the stairs to turn that light off behind yourself. So we have three switches here. One is to turn the step lights off behind yourself or on ahead of yourself if you're going down. One is for the center chandelier, on or off. And then our traveling cans as we enter the upper floor. So our walking cans. From a low volt standpoint, right here, we've got our wireless access point, which is located right here at the top of the stairs in the open area. We'll walk into the secondary area first. So we come into the loft. We've got traveling cans on ahead of ourselves. We've got the mechanical room off to the right. This air handling unit handles everything for the second floor, for the top floor. It has nothing to do with the lower two levels. Lower two levels are covered by the unit in the basement, which we'll look at in a little bit. So this is the upstairs mechanical room. We've got power switches, gas shutoffs. This will be explained to you in great detail at the new homeowner orientation. Also, just so you know, before closing, we do a complete duct system cleaning. So all of our ducts are cleaned, our furnaces are cleaned by a professional organization, so all of that happens before closing. So you're gonna see drywall dust, you're gonna see dirt, you're gonna see sawdust, but everything gets cleaned out of all ducts and out of both furnaces before you close. So here we are in the loft. Switches for the loft area. We can turn off the traveling cans behind ourselves. In the loft, pardon me while I turn the page. In the loft, you've added two additional recessed cans, which are being shown to you right now. The standard recessed cans, we've got a traveler. The options are here and here. Standard, standard. So our switching here is you can turn lights on either ahead or behind yourself. We've also got cans. Two switches for cans. Travelers and the options. Sorry. Across the room, there's no additional electric in the loft, but across the room, we've got low volt. And at the loft area, we've got a CP location on the exterior. And that CP is, phone data and cable, satellite port, power all around the loft. Don't need an additional power. And then the other switches here is, we've got a half hot switch across the room again. So there's an outlet that's half switched, and that's at the end of the loft. Then we can turn on traveling lights or recessed cans ahead of ourselves into the hall. Come into the bath, the secondary bath. There's a switch as you go into the double sink area. So there's a switch to turn the lights on above both sinks. We've got two here, two lights above each, one above each sink. We've got power to the left. As you enter the tub shower area, two switches inside. One is for the recessed can, the other is for the fan. So we've got tub shower combination, shower head set at 84 inches, stool, double lav, and then a linen closet off to the end. As we move to the secondary bedrooms, this is bedroom 3. We've still got the hall cans on ahead of ourselves, but as we come into bedroom 3, we've got 3 switches inside. And that's because you have requested 4 recessed cans in this bedroom, and you've also requested a ceiling fan pre-wire, and then we have a half hot switch. We have a hot switch for the cans, switch for the ceiling fan, and that, by the way, all ceiling fan switches are, when we will put a double switch there, one for light, one for fan, and then the half hot across the room. No, in this room, bedroom 3, there's no low volt in either bedroom 3 or bedroom 2. So we got walk-in closet with a light inside of the closet with recessed can, like it's rod and shelf. This is the 3-way switch to turn the lights off in the hallway behind yourself, so you can turn ahead or behind. Come into bedroom 2. Got 3 switches here again. Optional recessed cans, optional ceiling fan pre-wire, and then the half hot across the room. Standard power outlets around the room. No additional electrical outlets in either of the secondary bedrooms. Got a walk-in closet with a switch and a recessed can in the walk-in closet. So we'll make our way around to the master side of the second floor. So we've got lights on ahead of ourselves. Now we can turn them off behind ourselves. We got a switch to turn them on ahead of ourselves as we're traveling. Travel lights. We've got a smoke detector here right at the upper foyer. Best place for that. We've got recessed cans ahead of ourselves, turned on. And we've got the laundry room on the right. So as we enter the laundry room, we've got two switches inside. One is for the two lights and one is for the fan. And in the laundry room, we have no additional optional electric, but we do have power outlets above countertop height in the laundry room. We've got laundry sink, power outlets. We've got washer and dryer set up. We also have the attic access is located in the laundry room. And I'm hoping you can see that up in the attic access, there's a light that you can pull to turn on. There's also a power source up there, and that can be used for service or any other device that you may wish to power up there. Got return air, and that's just a passive through that wall system from laundry to hallway. Entering the master suite. As you enter the master suite, we're turning off the lights in the hallway behind ourselves and turning on lighting ahead of ourselves. We've got a linen closet immediately in the hallway right off to the left. And in the master bedroom, now we enter the master suite. We've got 4 switches on the wall as we enter the master suite. And we could turn off lights behind ourselves as the first thing. Options in the master suite is you have requested on a dimmer 4 recessed cans, which are located up in the coffer. We've got a ceiling fan pre-wire standard. We've got a half hot across the room. Also from a low volt standpoint, the master, we've got 2 speaker pre-wires, one over each window. And then we've got service outlets all around the room. We kind of consider this the bed wall, so we've got an outlet on either side of the bed for nightstands. In the sitting area, in the master sitting area, we've got a switch for 2 optional recessed cans, which are located here. We also have power low and high at 75 inches. And yeah, we've got a CP to above fire. This would be the optional fireplace location. It doesn't call for us to put this here, but the power diagram wasn't shown, but we added an outlet up here anyway, just because I think you're going to need it. So we got service outlets around the sitting area. This is the master outdoor room. There's one switch off here to the left, and that will turn on the recessed cans in the ceiling of the master outdoor room. We've got 2 recessed cans. We also have a waterproof outlet on the house wall. And the reason this siding isn't on yet, this gets siding up here, is the inspectors need to see all of the wiring, they need to see all of the boxes, so this will be happening in the next couple of weeks as well. All of the siding will be applied as we start getting ready for masonry. On the outdoor room, we have no low volt options at the outdoor room. But you've got one heck of a view. You're going to be looking over the top of everybody. Boulder Flatirons to Long's Peak. Mm-hmm. I'm going to close a couple windows before we walk into the master bathroom area. As we walk into the master bath, just to let you know, you haven't requested any additional electrical options. This is the volume control location for the speaker pre-wires over the bed. So as we enter the master bathroom area, we've got a switch bank of 4 here on your left-hand side, and this low volt is the volume control for speakers in the bathroom. So we'll follow here. We got 4 switches. We're turning off lights behind ourselves. We've got recessed cans or travelers down the center. We've got recessed cans in the shower, and we have lights over the vanities. So that's why there's 4 switches there. It's all managed from that location. You've requested a freestanding tub, and you did not want the half walls. That's great. So this is the master stool room. All we have in here is a stool, and we've got 2 switches inside, one for fan, one for light. So this is the master shower, and we got a door on each end with solid glass panel in the center. So as you come into your shower, we've got a stationary shower head on each side with its own valve, plus a diverter. This is just a diverter which will divert to the handheld. Handheld location is here. And then we'll put that slide bar over here where that portable shower head will mount. So this is the location of the handheld. Recessed cans above, 2 shower heads set at 84 inches, full mud set and tile shower base, 2 seats. Then we can walk into the master closet. Inside the master closet, we have 2 recessed cans, one on each side to illuminate the closet, and we have 1 power outlet below the switch. So that's it for the master bathroom area. In the master bathroom, you've requested 2 speaker pre-wires. One is here, this is the white cable, and white cable. Those are the speaker pre-wires. Now we're going to make our way down to the basement, and we're not going to stop. We're just going to keep on rolling. So as we're leaving the areas again, lights off behind, lights on ahead. Coming down the stairs, lights off behind, lights on ahead. We make our way down the stairs. So as we enter the basement area, there is a 3-way switch. So at the top of the stairs, turn lights on. There's a recessed can under each landing, so it illuminates the landing in the stair area. So as we come down, we've got overhead lights on. Then the 2 gang switch box at the base of the stairs. One is to turn lights off behind yourself. The other is to turn on your travelers ahead. Small furnishing area at the basement here with a power outlet. We've got a closet with a rod and shelf. There is a light inside of this closet. It'll probably be because of the stair rise or the stair rake. We'll probably mount that. We'll probably put in an LED. And we mount it on the face of this wall above the door. So as we enter the rec room area, that's where we're at. We got lights on ahead of ourselves, and we've got standard lighting in our rec room. So we have 2 switches here as we enter the wet bar area. One is for the recessed cans overhead, 4 recessed cans, and the other is for the pendants, the 2 pendants which come down over the bar top. In the wet bar area, we've got service outlets above countertop height all the way around. Service outlets low. We've got a sink and power low. Power above countertop, but below the pass-through. Power above countertop, below the pass-through, right in that backsplash. We've got an unfinished area, which we'll step into briefly. As you come into the unfinished area where your water is, we've got a light switch to turn on overhead lights. This is the main water tree, we call it, or the main water service that comes into the house from the street. So we've got the main service coming in, isolation valve for service on the pressure reducing valve. We've got a booster pump. I have 24 lots in this filing that require a booster pump because the water pressure wasn't high enough. We're up on top of the hill and the developer just couldn't get us enough water pressure. So we install a booster pump to make sure that you have more than adequate water pressure throughout your house. This is all isolated. This will be explained in greater detail at the new homeowner orientation. But we haven't had any issues with any buyers so far, any homeowners. We've got the main sprinkler, or excuse me, the main water line coming in the house. This is our main water feed that goes over to the other mechanical room, which you'll see in a moment, a main shutoff. We have a copper tee here with its own shutoff and a hammer arrestor, and this copper line is for the irrigation or the sprinkler system going outside. There is a drain valve on this as well for wintertime drain off. We've got power here for the booster pump and for the sump pit. This is our high or our upper sump, and we will be installing a sump pump in this pit. This is the ejection pipe going outside and power for the sump pump. This pipe here is labeled, or I've written on there, vapor. What that is we install a complete interior perimeter drain system around the entire inside of your foundation. And that drain system is on a grade, and any water that may percolate up through the soil, or any water that would percolate down through from above, would collect in that drain and go to the sump pit. The first place it would go, though, it ties into the city storm system out this way. City storm is connected out here. So it goes into the storm drain system. So our sump pump really is a backup system. It's not the primary, it's the secondary system to pick up any excess of water. This vapor pipe is on top of the drain pipe, and that is here to pick up or to allow any humidity that may come up through the ground, anything that would seep up through the ground. It would just naturally vent out this pipe. And this goes all the way up through your attic, out the roof. That can be discussed at a later time as well. This vapor pipe can be used for other things up in the attic, but this now is just naturally venting any vapor, moisture, humidity, anything that's coming from under the ground. That goes up all the way through the roof. So the other unfinished storage areas, you can see back here, pretty sizable area for great storage. Moving back out from the wet bar, we'll move into the main recreation room. Another thing, in this basement window, you can see that there is a drain there also. This will fill with dirt and then gravel on top, about 6 inches of gravel. That drain top will be exposed. So any water that may, on the surface get in, that is tied into our interior drain system, which goes to the storm water system. So in the recreation room, there are no electrical options, but what we have here are 3-way 4 recessed can lights. We've got 4 recessed cans on this side, and we've got 4 recessed cans on the other side, including the wet bar area. We've got service outlets around the room. From a low volt standpoint, you have requested on this outside wall conduit from low to high, conduit from the BPAC location to the CP. This is the CP point here. So we've got 2 conduits. On your electrical drawing, we've added this outlet at 66 inches as well. So I think we've got things covered there. Service outlets around the room, like I mentioned. At the patio, we've got a volume control for the speakers outside, which we looked at, and the coach light, which is outside. Again, just to recap, we got 2 speaker pre-wires on the house wall up high at 9 feet. So we'll move into bedroom area. So as we enter this area, 3-way switch to turn lights on ahead of yourself. We've got a closet here in the hallway. We move into this bedroom bath here. We've got 2 switches inside, one for the light above the vanity and the light over the tub. We've got a tub shower combination with shower head at 84. We've got a stool and a lavatory sink with power next to the sink. So then we're going to enter the downstairs bedroom. You can turn the lights off behind yourself as you come in. Bedroom 8, you've requested 4 recessed cans, which we've got 2 on either side of the steel beam. Low volt, the option you've selected in here is the CP port, and that's located here on the mechanical room wall. So we have two switches as we come in. One is for the recessed can, and the other is for the half-hot switched outlet across the room. You can see that we have built this, and we do this in every home that we build with walkouts. We've got a little bench seat here that we build, and that's due to placing the secondary sump. So here's the second or the low sump. We've got the high sump up high in the grade and the low sump down low in the walkout. And that'll have a lid on it, an operating lid, and a sump pump installed as well. Bench seat with power on the front. Got a walk-in closet, switch inside the closet for a recessed can. Now we'll move around to the furnace room, mechanical room. Come out of the hall, turn lights on ahead of ourselves again, lights off. Got lights on as we come into the mechanical room. We've got overhead lights. This is the main sewer drop and clean out. You've opted for an interior load center, so all of your house breakers will be located in these two panels inside. Our outside service panel will have the main disconnect, may have the air conditioning 220 circuits out there, maybe your car charger. But all your furnaces and all service outlets and lights for inside the house will be in the interior load center. I've got a wire hanging here, and you may wonder what that's for. Well, that's for the electronic damper, which I mentioned at the kitchen hood location. This is the electronic damper, so this wire goes to the hood and connects to this. So it tells at the hood when this damper needs to open to let in the new outside air. We've got a service outlet. We also have, this is a anti-scald device, and this goes up to the master. It's a mixing valve where you can regulate the hot and cold water. And you can turn it all the way where you get the most hot, or you can turn it down, whatever your preference is. Got 50-gallon water heater, furnace, and this furnace services both the basement and the main living level. This will be explained to you at greater detail. We've got all these little pipes coming down here to the floor drain area. Let me just tell you what they are. First of all, we got one furnace that is just a condensate line. We also have two lines here. One is all the way from the laundry room upstairs. That is this bigger one. This comes all the way from the laundry room on the second floor. We do put a laundry pan in the laundry, so this is the drain. It comes all the way from the laundry room. Then we have air conditioning unit from upstairs as well. So we've got air conditioning condensate all the way from the second floor as well. Water heater. This is a Studer vent. This is just a vent. This is the location of the low volt panel. We got power to it. All of your cabling is brought here. All of your conduits are brought here, all three. So we've got one conduit that you didn't ask for that we put in every house, and that is we run a conduit from the basement all the way up into the attic. And that's in the event if you want to run, doesn't look like you're going to get off the grid, but if you want to go off the grid, you could run an antenna cable all the way up into the attic, put an antenna up there, and receive signal. The other conduit that we have is right here in this mechanical room, the silver one, and it's labeled photovoltaic power source. That goes all the way up into the attic as well. And that's in the event that you may want to choose to put solar panels on your roof. Well, there's a conduit for the power, which can come from your service panel, and that can go all the way up into the attic to serve the panels that you put on your roof. So we got two conduits going from the mechanical room all the way up into the attic for whatever need you may have. That pretty much wraps things up. We're going to pause for a moment, and then we'll recap up on top. I'm going to talk about a couple other things, and that'll be it. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up our walkthrough. As I had mentioned when we started on this little checklist, we talked about the grading and drainage outside, the gutter and downspout locations, the window grids. We looked at all electrical locations. We looked at all low volt pre-wires. We talked about plumbing, the mechanical systems, change orders. We're too late to make any changes from here forward, and then our projected schedule. And what I wanted to tell you about our projected schedule is if things are going fairly well right now, with the coronavirus issues and me spacing one trade at a time into the house, things slowed down a little bit, but they're starting to pick back up. The city is now, I heard today that they're going back to half staff. They lost a couple of people, but my inspections are going well. I'm hoping to pass all inspections, the further inspections tomorrow. And then we'll be insulating on Monday. Tomorrow is the 17th, Monday is the 20th for insulation. I've got all energy inspections and rework in detail to do on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, the 22nd, I'll be stocking drywall. So looking at from a drywall stock standpoint, the projected schedule, right now we're looking at probably a mid-October range that we'll be completing your house. But Kyle will be, once I get to drywall stage in another week, Kyle should be able to give you weekly updates, because I give him weekly updates every Monday. So any questions you have, just contact him. Any issues that you saw through the video, please come out this weekend. Please come out this weekend. Look at your house. See if I've missed something. See if I've got something misplaced, and let Kyle know so that I can get that changed before I go to drywall. And looking forward to working with you the rest of the way. But we're looking at probably a mid-October delivery right now, barring any major unforeseen circumstances. We are having a few supply chain issues with tile and things like that, which are coming from Mexico or from overseas. There has been a little slowdown at our borders, as you I'm sure are aware of, but we're hoping that that hasn't impacted your house. But Kyle would be in touch with you immediately if there was, if we hear anything. But if you need anything, just contact us, and that's it for today. Thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.